All right.
Immediate medical assistance needed. Agent down. A nearby agent has gone rogue. Rogue agent nearby. Agent nearby. Detecting high threat enemy patrol. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. Rogue defender drone detected. Immediate medical assistance needed. Rogue agent neutralized nearby. Nearby agent has become rogue. Rogue agent detected. Rogue stinger hive detected. Rogue agent neutralized.
What's up, agents? Hope you guys are doing extremely well, being safe out there, at least as safe as you need to be. Continuing on with our maximum damage guides, I wanted to visit the sniper turret. I have a particular build I've been using, an amazing build using the hardwire set, but I wanted to see where and what variations will lead us to the highest damage results. So I'm going to do 4 different variations today. We're going to look at a full high-end build. We're going to look at a 5-piece high-end and utilize the waveform. We are going to test the Future Initiative 4-piece gear set along with the Memento backpack, and then we'll try my good old-fashioned sneaker build, which is the hardwire, utilizing the waveform and our glass cannon wyvern chest piece we will be using for every variation of this build. Without further ado, let's get right on into it. Real quick, if you guys are new, if you find this content interesting, entertaining, or you learn something new, I'd appreciate your subscription. And if nothing else, do me a favor, guys. Smash that like button for me. All right, let's get right on into it. All right, agents, as far as the specialization, you know we're going to be going with the technician. This is going to give us access to Amped for +1 skill tier. This means if we get a perfect roll, we can re-roll one of our pieces. So that will give us up to 15% bonus weapon damage or 170,000 bonus armor. We will be using it for the Faraday field. This will allow us to protect ourselves from shock and disrupt as long as we're staying within the 5 meter of our turret. This will also protect our allies. We gain the advantage of this dismantling perk, which will allow us to do, they say plus 12% damage to robotics, proxies, and such. When all your damage is maxed, it's still about a 5% damage bonus, even when you account for diminishing return. So this is highly effective. We, of course, have the overclock CPU. This just adds on an additional plus 10% skill damage on top of everything else we already have. And this also gives us access to the Link laser pointer. So in case you want to run spotter for a less swishy build, you can use the Link laser pointer to aim at targets with your weapon, and that will pulse them, thus giving you the advantage of the spotter perk. You can also use this to help your team in case somebody else is running spotter. Even if you're not, you can pulse the enemies for them using this. For the purposes of max testing today, of course, we are also going to use the Artificer Hive to be able to buff our sniper turret to maximum damage on top of having a method to overcharge using the Future Perfect. So we will take advantage of the Artificer Hive, which you have through the Technician, even though that's not a part of our standard build. All right, agents, so we're just going to be using 2 skills for testing. Of course, we're going to be using our sniper turret, as that is our main weapon we are testing. And it tends to have a fairly wide base damage range. Check this out. So one thing that I was not aware of is I thought the sniper turret actually gets bonus damage while in overcharge. It does not. However, it does get more DPS simply from the fact that the rate of fire is increased by 100%. So you can fire it off twice as often while in overcharge. So will not actually add to your damage, but while in overcharge, the Artificer Hive will give you a little bit bonus damage. So that's why we still see that number go up while we are overcharged. All right, and so the other thing that we're going to be looking at is the Artificer Hive. So agents, one thing to note, since we are going to be taking advantage of the overcharge, we're technically overcharging our Artificer Hive too. So that charge efficiency is going to go from 600% to 700%. Our skill refresh will go from 12 seconds that it gives back to anybody's skills to 22 seconds it will refresh their time. Range goes from 60 to 200%. The drone speed from 60 to 80. And we get plus 150% skill haste. Why does that matter? The biggest reason that matters is because that means that buff amount is going to go from 70% up to 80% during the overcharge. So that's going to be adding bonus damage to you. On top of that, that skill repair is going to be going above that 100%. So that means any skill that's repaired by the Artificer Hive is going to be immediately repaired to max. And you know, it's that skill refresh, 15 seconds, right? We're going to be bumping that up. What was it? Is 12 to 22. So we add another. So that'll be 25 seconds. It'll actually give us back at that point, right? So significant advantage to the Artificer Hive while being overcharged, in addition to giving our sniper turret that bonus damage. All right, agents, now we'll go over the gear and brand sets that we will be using, and I will briefly cover the 4 builds, and then we will get into more detail as needed once we get to the gun range. So first thing we'll do is we'll talk about the brand sets. We are going to, in every variation of this build, use one piece of Wyvern, and we are going to use the same Wyvern chest piece. So we're using this chest piece right here with glass cannon on it. This will give us 25% multiplicative damage at the end of our damage calculation at the cost of us taking 50% bonus damage from all sources. So high reward, high risk. There are lesser choices, but for the purposes of max damage, and particularly this video, we are going to go glass cannon all the way. Now, when it comes to the high-end builds, we are going to run 2 other brand sets. We're going to run hana-u. The hana-u, one piece, will give us plus 10% skill haste, and adding that second piece will give us the plus 10% skill damage. You guys will note that in both high-end variations, we will be using a hana-u backpack. One variation will use tech support, which I highly recommend for legendary. And for heroic and lesser content, you can get away with the higher damaging force multiplier name backpack, which gives you access to the perfect combined arms. So this is a 30% damage bonus, while the tech support only gives you 25. However, that is the skills themselves proc that, so it's a lot safer and it's a lot longer of a damage bonus. So considering we're using glass cannon, you may just choose to use the tech support backpack for any content simply for the ease of use. That's on you and your individual gameplay. Just realize you will lose out on a little bit of the top end damage. The third gear set we're going to use is going to be this Empress International. This is one of the newest brand sets, and this is a very interesting brand set in the fact the one piece gives us the plus 10% skill health. Not a huge deal in this, but the 2 piece nets us an additional plus 10% skill damage. The 3 piece is where it really starts to shine. Plus 10% skill efficiency. For those of you who don't know what is skill efficiency is 10% skill damage, 10% skill repair, 10% status effects, 10% skill duration, and 10% skill haste. So, notice this is the only place to get 10% skill efficiency from any of the brand sets, and we have to use all 3 pieces. So there's only one variation of this build that we will use it in. It's our full high-end build, And that takes care of our brand sets. We will be using 2 gear sets. We will be checking out the Future Initiative gear set. And we will also be looking at the good old Hardwire gear set. So let's get into these builds real quick right here. And then we will move on to the weapons, the skills, and then we'll check out the gun range. All right, so this is our high-end build right here. We'll start with the... So you guys notice we have our 1 Wyvern, skill haste, skill damage, glass cannon. We have our 2 pieces of hana-u to include the full force multiplier. This gives us the plus 10% skill haste and skill damage. Both of these have skill haste and skill damage as the attributes. We have a skill haste mod. And then we have 3 pieces of Empress International, skill haste, skill damage, skill haste, skill damage, skill haste, skill damage. And I have an armor on kill mod here. I could put a haste on there, but I do like to have a little bit of recovery. So this is the main layout for our high-end build. All right, agents, if we go ahead and we switch out one of the Empress International pieces for the waveform, in this case being the holster, we end up with the ability to gain an additional 20% skill damage on top of what we would normally get. So by switching over to the waveform, we lose the plus 10% skill efficiency, right? So that's plus 10% skill damage. But this gives us that alternating current talent, which stacks up to 30% bonus damage. So we lost 10, but this gives us up to 30. So that gives us up to 20% bonus damage. So as you can imagine, the gameplay, everything is pretty much the same for this. Just when we pay attention to the alternating current, we can take advantage of 20% additional damage for the sniper turret. And the good news is, in the normal build where we're using the Seeker Mines, if we are at the point where we don't have the bonus damage for the sniper turret, that means our Seeker Mines are going to be getting that bonus damage. So, win-win. All right, Future Initiative gear set gives us plus 30% repair skill for the 2-piece. The 3-piece gives us 15% skill haste and 30% skill duration, both of which are beneficial. But the big one is the 4-piece, and here's why. Ground control increases us and our allies' total weapon and skill damage by 15% when at full armor. That means any and all of us who are at full armor gain 15% bonus damage ubiquitously. So that's amazing. Getting on to the other parts of this build, of course, we're going to be using the glass cannon on the Wyvern chest. That gives us the plus 10% skill damage. And we're going to be mixing this with the Memento backpack, which this talent will give us a short-term buff for 10 seconds of 30% bonus skill damage, along with the bonus armor and the bonus weapon damage, which is nominal but still beneficial. But if we also get the ramp-up time taken care of and we get all 30 stacks, for every trophy we collect, plus 1 weapon damage, plus 1 skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regen, right? So that's going to give us up to 3% armor regen per second. That will give us up to 30% skill efficiency and 30% weapon damage. When we combine that, let's just take the skill efficiency. 30% short-term efficiency, 30% long-term efficiency. That means within 10 seconds of picking up a trophy when we're at max stacks already, that is a 60% bonus to our damage. All right, guys, and here is our good old school hardwired sneaker build. All right, so for this build, we're of course running the glass cannon on the Wyvern as usual. We will be running the waveform. And the main reason why we're running a waveform on this, not only because it's some bonus damage, but because there is no other single brand set piece we can have that will actually benefit this build. So it only makes sense to squeeze in an exotic piece. The reason why we are not going with the Memento, which would add more damage, is because we are using hardwire. 2-piece gives us the 15% skill haste. 3 pieces gives us the 15% skill damage, 30% repair skill. 4-piece gives us feedback loop. Whenever you use or cancel a skill, your other skill's cooldown is automatically reduced by 30 seconds while increasing total skill damage and repair by 10% for 20 seconds. Feedback loop can occur once every 20 seconds, so that means this gives us these added bonuses, and every 20 seconds, we can basically reset our Seeker Mines, because our Seeker Mines have a cooldown of 30 seconds. So that means it's every 20 seconds we get them back. Now, we're not using Memento because I want to get the short circuit talent. Decreases feedback loop cooldown from 20 seconds to 10 seconds. This is what I was talking about. This is what I meant. Basically, every 10 seconds, I can take my turret, put it back up, bam, resets my Seeker Mines. I throw more Seeker Mines out, keep shooting. The other thing to notice, so that's a 15% skill damage from the 3-piece. Because we're using the feedback loop, that 20-second bonus we have from the feedback loop, so that's 10%. Effectively, that will give us almost a constant uptime of 25% bonus skill damage on top of everything else. So, without further ado, let's go take a look at the weapons. And then we're going to get to the range, check out some damage numbers. And then finally, we'll see how this actually works in the actual gameplay. All right, agents, like always, I recommend you use whatever weapon is your favorite weapon to use with your favorite builds. However, there are 2 different variations that I'm going to recommend in order to hit the maximum damage you can. Now, the first one, and this is the one I recommend, this is depending on you having the capacitor, which you guys can get from completing 5 challenges in the summit, and you will get this guy. The capacitor is hands down the best weapon in the game for a skill build of any type. Shooting targets adds stacks, up to 40 stacks. Each stack will give you 1.5% skill damage. So that will give you up to a maximum of 60% bonus skill damage. At the same time, for every utility skill tier you have, it will give you a bonus of 7.5% weapon damage. So if you actually have all 6 skill utilities, you will actually have 45% bonus weapon damage added to your weapon, added to your capacitor on top of that. So from every way that you look at it, this is the best weapon for a skill build. So I recommend the capacitor. For your sidearm, we of course are going to use the backup boomstick with Future Perfect. You can use any sidearm with Future Perfect, but I like the backup boomstick for 2 reasons. First of all, this double barrel makes it extremely easy to take dudes down at close range. It comes natively with damage to armor. In this case, I have the full 12% on it. This one came with damage to health, so no matter what, I'm doing bonus damage with my Seeker Mines with it. And it's just an easy weapon to use. However, like always, use your favorite sidearm with Future Perfect. You'll be just fine. Now, simply what it comes down to for the secondary weapon, there's 3 that I would recommend. I'd either recommend running the Surge with Perfect Spike if you're going to be running in Legendary and you want to get some bonus weapon damage, but you do not want to be exposed given that we're running Glass Cannon. You could use the Harmony if you want to have perfectly in sync to immediately proc a 40% damage bonus. It's not as high as the 60%, but you can proc that almost instantaneously. You can go with the Mop, the named Shotgun. And what this will do is it will give you 10% armor on kill. Even if your skills get the kill, that will give it back to you. So this adds survivability. Of course, because it's a shotgun, it has the native damage to armor. And the cool thing about something like this is you can roll either Spike or In Sync on it, or any other perk if you want it. But I'd recommend either Spike or In Sync. Because I use this in Legendary to get my armor back, I prefer Spike, so I can get a headshot. That will allow my skills an easier chance to get that kill to give me that armor back, and then hopefully I can get back into the actual game that much quicker. The one other thing you may choose to do is just run any automatic weapon with the standard version of In Sync. It's only a 30% total damage bonus instead of the 40% from perfectly in sync. However, you can use your favorite weapon of choice if this is the case. Next, I will simply go over if you do not have the capacitor, but we will go ahead and assume you have the Scorpio. You can use the Scorpio, and this is an amazing weapon because you can use this to actually cause a 20% damage debuff. This is a multiplicative debuff, so much like Glass Cannon, at the very end of your damage equation, Glass Cannon multiplies your damage times 1.25. Well, this will make your damage equation times 1.25 times 1.2 for the debuff. of the Scorpio. So this can be a huge benefit, and when trying to take down, say, the big juggernaut tanks, this can allow you to do substantially more damage because they're big, they're easy, and you can get that damage debuff on them really easily. Now, if you're going to run the Scorpio, that frees you up to use the test subject name PDR with perfectly in sync. So that will give you that 40% in sync bonus, which you could proc almost instantaneously. And of course, we will just go use any sidearm with the Future Perfect, or in my case, or in my gold trusty backup boomstick. All right, guys. Let's go to the range, check out each of these builds, see what kind of damage numbers we can pull off, see what is the king of the mountain as far as maximum damage. We'll figure out which one has the most practical use and application in endgame content. Gotta show you guys a quick little trick. Now, if we put this up and we fire, and now we wait, and now we wait, and now we wait. All right. Here's my method for firing a little bit faster. And this also will make sure that you keep your hardwire gear set up if you're doing that. Faster. Fire. And now we wait. And now we wait. And now we wait. No Artificer Hive damage. Body shot. 3.9. Headshot. 7.8. Body shot. Okay, and now headshot. Okay, now we're going to overcharge and check out and see if those damage numbers actually go up. Body shot. Literally, the headshot damage is a 100% damage multiplier. Nothing you do will affect that. So, one thing when you're trying to calculate how much damage you're doing, if you really want to, just figure out how much damage you're doing on a body shot, and if you get a headshot, you're doing twice as much. So, it seems like there might be a lot of science and mystery and shit to it. No, it's as simple as that. So, whatever body damages you're doing, hit the head twice as much. Alright guys, with hardwire right, we're using the waveform. So you notice right now, we got it so that the holster has it, so our Artificer Hive has all the bonus damage. Obviously that doesn't do us any good, but if these were the Seeker mines, that would be great. So we're going to pop this up here. See, now we're starting to switch over, right? So, right about the time it's almost there, we're going to pump that. We're going to do this. Bam. There you guys see. So it's pretty much as easy as that. Now obviously your time is limited, so you do want to try to line up your shots and take them pretty quick, but that's pretty much all there is to it. Alright, now we're going to get into the high end. Alright, the entire high end build yields us 3.128 as the base damage, but what is our true damage max? Let's check it out. Switch over to the boomstick. All right, agents, so now we are doing the high end, but we are losing one piece of Empress International for the waveform. This is where, again, it looks funny. It tells us we're only at 2.31 damage, but we know that that is not true. Real quick, we'll check the base damage. Watch this. Over 4, right? So, we know something's wrong. Anyway. All right, agents, here we go. We're going to try to get the maximum damage on the high end with the waveform. So, all right. So that's basically what we're looking at there. So, yeah, you guys can see with some high ends, not so bad. All right, agents, now we got the future initiative with the Memento and the Wyvern. Base damage of 2.943. Please let me keep all those stacks. We just went and tried. We spent 18 minutes building stacks. Tell me I keep my stacks. Please. Please. Yes, we can do this. All right, guys, here we go. All right, first of all, so how much damage do we do? All right, and how much do we do on this? All right, let's reset this. Damn. All right, so body shot. All right, that's Future Initiative with the M30. All right, agents, so our good old hardwire set. All right, guys, here's something to note. The PvP damage. We can one-shot tier 1 armor. That's good stuff. That's without any buffs. With glass cannon, we can one-shot 2 tiers of armor. Body shot. All right, agents. So before we get into some footage and legendary content and maybe a couple other snippets, I just want to give you the pros and cons of each. So the full high-end build, the pros, almost 18 million with the full high-end build, right? It's really easy to actually farm for because all you have to do is get the right pieces as far as the brand sets with the 2 correct talents that you want to run. And because each of these will come with skill tier, it just means you can roll maximum skill damage on all of them. And so it's just a question of how much skill haste we have or any other attributes. So it makes it extremely easy to farm for and very high damage numbers. The high end with the waveform is even better simply because it adds to your damage ceiling. It gets that much higher. The one caveat that you have as far as the waveform goes is that when the bonus is on your other skill, the sniper turret will be doing less, but assuming that you're using your seeker mines, that means the seeker mines are buffed. So overall, this will be a damage bonus anyway. We were able to hit just above 19 million using this variation. Now, one thing that I should add about the high-end and the high-end waveform, if you want to have the Hardwire Junior with the essentially a lesser feedback loop, you could lose out on a significant amount of damage, but you could go with the skilled chest piece. In fact, you could one-up it and go with the Empress International and the Caesar's Guard with the perfectly skilled. Standard skill will give you 25% chance on skill kill to reset your skills, and the perfect version will give you 30%. So this means that your Seeker Mines have a chance to reset themselves. Any one of those can reset it, and any kill from your sniper turret can reset your Seeker Mines as well. So you lose out on a little bit of damage as far as your immediate burst damage goes, but this may ultimately increase your sustained damage, or in other words, your damage over time. So that's pretty much, and as far as, again, the tech support versus the perfect combined arms, you just got to figure out which one works better for you. Are you dying while you're getting up and proccing perfect combined arms? If so, tech support's probably the perk to go with. The Future Initiative was very interesting, and I did some testing with it. So this does give very similar damage numbers to our Hardwire set. It does have the advantage that you do give that 15% damage bonus to the entire team while you have it going. The downside of the Future Initiative is, other than the 15% bonus you give to the rest of the team, You could do it easier ways. Overwatch will give you a 12%. All you got to do is stay in cover, and everybody gets it no matter what. So, and you lose out on the repetitive, perpetual Seeker mines that you have given the Hardwire build. So that then leads us to the Hardwire build. I mean, hands down, I will commit to the statement that the Hardwire Waveform build is the superior build. You get consistent Seeker mines effectively every 12 to 13 seconds with all the different deployment times, blah, blah, blah. You get Seeker mines that do between 3 and 6 million damage. You have a sniper turret that will do over 15 million in the right conditions with a headshot. And it just hands down is the easiest build for me to work with, simply because it feels like my skills are available when I want. The second best variation is simply to use the high end with the waveform and switch out, lose out on some damage from the glass cannon to go ahead and put on the perfectly skilled. And the problem is, as soon as we do that, our damage range from the high end with waveform is now comparable to the Hardwire. And if I'm going to go comparable to the Hardwire, why am I going to guess if I have my Seeker mines instead of just ensure I have my Seeker mines? So a lot of this will depend on the gear you have. Mix and match what you have. Figure out how you want to play it. And then just as you get the right gear, work towards the way you want to play. This is a lot of fun. And this makes a lot of the content super, super easy. So without further ado, let's get into some legendary content. Maybe I'll stick some other clips in here. We'll see. I guess we'll all know at the end. All right, agents, let's do this. Why did my Seeker mines not do?
Agent down.
Whoa. Wait. What the fuck? What just fucking hit me? Alright, what the fuck, dude? Now they're fucking blowing me up through the floor, bleeding me through the floor. Wait, how? Okay, I thought I had fucking... Okay, dude, wait. Why is my Hardwire not going off? Look at this shit, dude. Alright. Alright, there it finally goes again.
Agent received a golden bullet.
And that 100%, that fucking Hardwire glitch there is absolutely having to do with their fucking shitty servers. That's the only reason why that happened. bitch.
Hostile has full golden bullet.
And again, oh, imagine the fucking put the. Okay, that shit almost just killed me. Fuck you guys. Your guys' game's playing like complete shit. Let's see. How fucking amazed am I gonna be when this is still all fucked up? Yeah, ate up like a soup fucking sandwich. I'm sorry to bitch so much, guys, but literally, Ubisoft, how are you fucking shitting the bed this bad, dudes? How? Oh, and now I'm stuck on the fucking thing. Look at this fuck, dudes.
Agent down.
You guys are absolutely
Serious
the
trauma
worst.
detected.
You guys are the fucking
Agent
worst,
down.
Ubisoft.
Immediate medical assistance needed. Agent down.
Okay, that just showed you what's going on. Look at that shit. Alright. That was a lot of fun. Alright, agents, thanks for checking this build out. Next week, I'm going to be looking at the Stinger Hive and how to maximize the direct damage of it, as well as maximizing the bleed damage. So I will delve into that a bit. If you guys have any cool ideas for some other max damage builds that I have not yet covered or that I haven't covered in a while, please let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for checking this video out, guys. If you haven't already, do me a favor. Smash that like button. If I haven't already earned your subscription, hopefully today's the day. If you guys want to help make sure I got a beer or two in the fridge, do me a favor. Links on how to donate are down below. I greatly appreciate it. You guys allow me to keep doing this. You guys be well. Stay safe out there, as safe as you need to. And I'll see you agents in the dark zone.